Hey gang, James here. Now, this isn't the usual format for our podcast. You'll be used to me being with JB, coaching business owners on how to grow their business. But actually, I don't do just the podcast. I make my main YouTube videos, I write books, and actually, I quite enjoy writing articles, newsletters. And that's something that I release every Monday morning at 7 a.m. to my subscribers. You can absolutely get it for free on my website, jamessinclair.net, and subscribe to the James Sinclair Letter. But actually, I've come to realise that we're missing a trick because a good friend of mine, James Martin, he can't read or write. Very, very successful entrepreneur. And I was away with him in America and he said, "Oh, have you brought out a new letter?" And what he usually does is he gets his iPhone out and hovers over my newsletter and he has a very robotic voice read out the newsletter to him. And he really enjoys them. And he said to me, "I wish I could hear you say it." So I read it out to him and he looked at me and he put his arm on my arm and he went, "James, that is really good. It's so good hearing it in your voice." And I thought, well, why not release it as a podcast? We've got the 2 anchor shows where we're coaching business owners every single week. But actually in the middle of the week, we could put out a version of this letter read by me. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the very beginning and read letter number 1 out. And that's where this podcast starts. And they'll be coming out to you every single week. But if you want to get them as they come out in real time, you still have to subscribe to the written version. And then 33 weeks later, the audio version will come out. Hope you understand. Let me read the first letter. Letter number 1. Welcome to the Letter Gang. I've been toying with the idea of jotting my thoughts to paper on a weekly basis, and I finally made good on that promise. The question is, why bother? You see, I like good habits, and I find writing is a very powerful one. It's medicine for the brain. I'm a big believer in writing things down in goals and life. Firstly, as it keeps me accountable, and secondly, so good for brain dumping. It's quite refreshing. I just wish more of us would take on this super powerful habit. Even now, after the 20-year marathon in entrepreneurship, the one I've been competing in, most of the time winning, but sometimes only just getting by, when I'm a little perplexed by a challenge or I'm stressed with life, my trusty notebook becomes my best friend. I hope that my musings into my entrepreneurial endeavours will give you a cuddle from time to time. You see, the gig of business owner is a tough one and a goddamn lonely one. You never know, Captain. My weekly notes might lift you up a bit as I share my brutal truths, highs and lows. Before I say toodaloo pip, I'd like to leave you with this. I was asked recently, is it all worth it? I would usually answer, well, yes. But this was different. After a few tough weeks on the business owner roller coaster, I paused before I answered another yes. And here's why. I feel that entrepreneurial success is a pounding on your brain every day. You have so many things to juggle to keep on top of it. It's just not for everyone. There is one thing that I really think makes success such a worthy cause, and that's the journey there. For who you become along the way is the real winner-winner chicken dinner moment. Think about this. If you're at X and you want to get to Y, and Y being super success, imagine who you'll become on that journey. You'll become a better you. You'll move mountains that no one else can. Your journey to handle the impossible. You'll become responsible and worthy. You'll be the type of person that gets branded dependable. You'll have responsibility and be able to help people. Most people are shying away from responsibility and hard work these days, and that gives you a distinct opportunity. They're looking for shortcuts that dampen resilience, and resilience being one of the 8 traits of the great entrepreneurs that I've studied. So the question again, is success worth it? And the answer is yes, not because of future trappings and material gains, but it's because of who you'll become along the way. That, my friends, is flipping fantastic. See you next week. To your continued success, James. Well, there you go, gang. Hope you enjoyed that first letter. They get better as the weeks go on, I know, because I've wrote them for the last 33 weeks. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you would like to get the actual letter as it comes out every Monday morning at 7 a.m, don't forget to sign up for it on my website, jamessinclair.net. And I'll see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.